Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to be going over row technique on the Concept 2 rower or erg. I'm also going to provide a warm-up that I include into my mobility or into my warm-ups. All of my programming that I have done myself, there is a variation of that in my app. The link below will allow you to check out my fitness app, my community, as well as some warm-up ideas. So this is one of the warm-ups I do in my workouts. I used to actually do this in my training. I'll get to what I used to actually row as part of my warm-up. So let's kick this off strong. We have the erg, Concept 2 erg here. We're going to be going over points of performance and a warm-up that you guys can include into your training. So starting with the foot position, you're going to adjust the foot straps so that your balls, your feet are on the ridges. You want to tighten the straps so that they're edge of the laces. So these ballistic trainers I'm using right now, you can see at the end of the laces, that's where the strap's going to be. Think of where the toe meets the palm of your foot. So obviously this is my hand, but if these are my toes and this is the palm of my foot, I want to have that strap right at that position. This is going to allow you enough range of motion flexibility where there is some space and gap between the platform and the heel here, but it'll also allow you to get nice and tight, but also have you to have a good extension. So that's our foot position. In the catch position, which is this position right here, I want to think of having my hips close to my heels where I have a little bit of space away from that platform, like I said. Hands are at the farthest, most outside point of the handle here. I like my thumbs on top. If I start to fatigue and tire or have a lot of movements where I'm using my grip, I'll wrap my thumb around on the bottom like a pull-up bar. But in this catch position, my arms are nice and long. To break it down simply, think of it as legs, torso, arms. Arms, torso, legs. Another way to think of it even more simply is going to be legs, arms, arms, legs. Now to get into a little nitty gritty, in this catch position, your shoulders are slightly on top of or in front of your hip joint. Depending on your mobility, flexibility, range of motion, you will have some change. And of course, the length of your levers. I have longer legs and arms, so I'm in a position here where I'm able to have a good reach. I'm not reaching super far where I'm trying to get the handle back to the catch position, super far past it's kind of like this rectangle position you have here where the chain is at, but I want to make sure my back is kind of flat like a deadlift where I'm pushing and engaging. So from here, I drive with the legs. Two ways to think about it. You can push or pull or a blend of both. I'm pushing with my legs. Arms are nice and straight. Once the legs extend, I hinge back to my hips. Then I pull the handle to my sternum, base of my sternum. Arms are at a 45-degree angle, a nice angle here. Don't want elbows high or tucked like this with the wrists bent. Think like T-Rex arms, do not want that. So think of pulling or squeezing the shoulder blades back. Once the sternum, or once the handle gets close to the sternum, release the arms, hinge back from the hips, rebend the legs. The one thing I see a lot as a coach is I see a lot of people hanging onto the handle, and so by the time they bend their knees, the arms have to go up and around, and the handle and the chain have to move around the knees. So if you are yourself doing this or you're a coach and you see people do this, focus on releasing the hands, then bend the knees. If you can just slow down the tempo a little bit, you can do that. So big leg drive, recover. Big leg drive and recover. So those are the points of performance. Think of the chain as being a conveyor belt. You want to keep it as straight and as smooth as possible versus having to go up and down. Before I get to the workout here, I'm going to talk about one thing about the damper. The damper is set from 1 to 10, and I use this as a reference. The 1 is like a boat that's higher up in water. The strokes may feel a bit easier, but you may not get as much distance or calories at that setting. If you are at a 10, think of the boat as deeper in the water. You're going to get more strokes or more calories, more meters with that pull, but it's going to be a little more resistance on your legs and body. So if you're just starting out, 5 is a great place to start, or even 4. Then you can play around with your technique. Now, let's get to the warm-up. For the warm-up that I used to incorporate into my training, I would do starting off, I would do a 500-meter easy pace row. Then I would go into intervals, 15 seconds all out, 45 seconds chill for 3 rounds. Now this is a good place to start. You can scale back or regress from that, say a 250-meter easy pace row. Then you can go to 2 rounds of the intervals, 15 seconds all out, 45 seconds chill, or even 10 seconds all out, 45 seconds chill. So I'm going to demonstrate what that's going to look like. The intention of this warm-up is to get your body primed for the workout that you're going to be doing, your training, your lifting, in addition to also helping you push that threshold of your anaerobic and aerobic threshold, getting your body to learn how to recover and continue to move. So I'm going to just do a couple strokes at a regular pace of what I would do, and then I'm going to go into the all out for about 10 seconds so you guys can see what that looks like, and then I'll go into the recovery. So a couple strokes to get my pace going. Again, this would be my 250 or 500 meter row. In my warm-ups, I would get to 2,500 as an easy pace row as part of my warm-up. Now I'm going to go to my intervals. I'm going to go all out. It's gonna be a long, short pull looking like this. And then I will settle in that nice pace of the chill. Now, that all out, I'm doing a long, short pull. This is something that I have found benefited me to, again, accrue more calories or meters. This also transferred over to helping me win the marathon row in my start and in my finish. So, real quickly to touch base about that, I do my regular long pull. On the short pull, I'm gonna leave my butt back. Slight bend in the knee, more of a hip hinge. Think of an RDL. I'm gonna use more of my back and hamstrings, upper body to pull. So again, think of it like long, regular, short pull. Now, that's great to incorporate. Again, if you're doing a calorie row, if you're trying to get ahead, start the monitor going. Also, if you are doing interval workouts or intervals with a teammate, say you're working out together, that long, short pull will help you accrue the calories and meters faster, but also will help you get moving. In addition, if you're doing a lot of RDLs or deadlifts or say box squats or box jumps where you're using a lot of your legs, changing the movement pattern will help you use different muscle groups. So that is one of my warm-ups that I include into my training. Again, if you guys want more warm-up ideas, you can click the link below to my app. If you're also looking for a full program where I take you through a warm-up, mobility, a workout, a conditioning piece, and lifting, and some accessory work, I also provide that. If you're looking just to get stronger, lose fat, build muscle, I have a strength and tone program as well. I would love to have you part of my community. But again, these are tips for rowing on the erg. This is gonna be different when you're in a boat on the water. I used to do outrigger canoe paddling when I lived in Hawaii. Definitely, I mean, you have one paddle and you're paddling to the side, it's a little different, but then this is great transferability to learn how to push and pull, but it's also a great workout for conditioning. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below. Feel free to subscribe, like, share, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. I have some new aspects coming out in terms of mobility, but also exercises, so I'm looking forward to having you check it out. And again, any questions, feel free to let me know. Have a fabulous Friday and a great weekend.